What the team of Bohn and Couture have done is they have chosen, they get to choose what lane they want to start on. They've chosen to make Hricsina finish the match. So they've chosen to finish on the left lane with Bohn as the turning player there. They get that choice having finished higher in the standings. So Rick-Steelsmith will start the match on lane 33.
And Mike, I don't anticipate any problem for John-Hricsina finishing the game on the right-hand lane. I think that he's locked into it as we see Rick-Steelsmith on lane 33.
Well, I was just wondering if all the turning players, Marshall, thought that the seniors, their nerves are a little frayed as they get older. They can't stand up to this pressure.
I don't think Rick seems to be too concerned with John and his nerves. I think he feels that John can get the job done, and I'm prone to believe that Rick knows what he's talking about. As we see Pete-Couture, 51 years old, from Titusville, Florida.
Trips that for the first shot.
And a nice, here we see Pete-Couture, 5-step, pushes the ball out in the 2nd step, kind of carries it a little bit. Very deliberate player, a little bit of a bent elbow, about shoulder high. Nice drive through and a nice long slide directly toward his target. Oh, a powerful shot from Parker-Bohn, Mike.
And the last time we saw him, he was playing tit-tat-toe. This time he says, I think we'll just go with the X's instead of the zeros.
Yeah, he did have a lot of trouble in Detroit, but he seems to be lined in practice and in the start of the match.
Hricsina trying for the double to keep the match even. Leaves the 2-pin. Is that from the break in between, the oil carrying down, or?
I would think it's more of the break than it is the oil carrying down. You know, he's been sitting for a few minutes getting ready to bowl this game. He'll throw the ball hard and straight at the 2-pin.
Sticks a little bit there, but hits the pin flush in the face.
Here we see John with a 4-step delivery, big steps, and a lot of power right at the very end. He really uses a lot of that strong frame of his to impart the power onto the ball.
It's got to be the strongest 59-year-old I've ever seen.
I don't want him mad at me.
Rick-Steelsmith on lane 33, a lane that he has only missed 1 time.
And he's really putting a lot of power on the ball. Look how much he's swinging that ball out to the right. Driving back hard.
Now, when he spoke about catching it and everything, what's he talking about there?
Well, he's talking about making sure that when he gets to the bottom of the swing, he puts a lot of fingers into the ball, a lot of wrist, a lot of roll. He needs that power in order to let the ball arc out to the right and then drive back into the pocket. As
always, ESPN brings you all the scores at 28 and 56 past the hour. 28 and 58 on the 4th. Couture leaves the 2-5. Appears that the guy is going straight on either lane. Can't really swing it back.
Right, and it looked like when Pete threw that ball that he kind of liked the way he let the ball go off his hand, but the ball actually, as you could see, it hooked out and did not get the finish going into the pocket. Pete-Couture, an excellent spare shooter. He'll throw the ball very straight at the 2-5, trying to put the ball right in between the 2 and the 5-pin.
Has it.
Parker-Bohn going way to the left. Oh my gosh, look at that shot, Mike. It looked like it was going to strike, and then it looked like it was going to split, and then now it looks like a spare.
He covered all the bases, didn't he?
Watch the pin action, the crazy pin action on this shot on lane 33. The ball's hooking in high. There's the 4-6. Looks like it's going to trip both the pins over. They're wiggling. They're trying. Well, at least the 4-pin fell.
Well, it looked like he was going to fall into the 6 there. He was going to make the 4-6 on the first ball.
Almost. I think he's got to be happy with just making that spare. That could have been a disastrous shot for him.
Hricsina on lane 34, trailing by 7, can take the lead with a strike here.
Well, he missed once last game. He's already missed once this game. Wants to get this double. A lot of loft.
The way that ball is finishing, you'd think that a solid 9 or something is going to pop up here now and then.
Well, that could be in the offing. He's delaying the hook on the ball by lifting it, lofting it way out onto the lane. He's not throwing the ball onto the lane early. He's getting it out there past the dots, it looks like.
And if you folks at home could see this, Marshall is telling me all this as he's demonstrating with his hands. I'm sure that we're all catching this.
Rick-Steelsmith again on lane 33, trying to put a lot of roll and hook the ball hard back into the pocket.
Leaves the soft 10. So with the conversion here, the difference will be 2 pins. The team of Steelsmith and Hricsina will have them. He uses a different ball for the spare also.
Once again, our players, almost all of them, I believe, are using a different ball to shoot their spares with. This is a ball that does not have a lot of friction to the lane. Will slide down there. Shouldn't be any problem making the 10 pin.
Cross lane at the 10 pin has it. I'm Mike Durbin along with my partner Marshall Holman. We're here in East Providence, Rhode Island at East Providence Lanes for the championship round finals of the Touring Pro Senior Doubles. And in our opening match, the team of Steelsmith and Hricsina defeated Belmont and Dickinson 257 to 234. Right now, Couture's up in the 5th frame in this match, trailing by 2 pins.
And really the only adjustment that Couture made was that he got the ball further left through his delivery.
We see that Parker-Bohn is trying for the triple-double crown.
That's
He's
right.
already won the PBA doubles and the mixed doubles. He's trying for the senior Touring Pro doubles. So.
I've never heard of the triple-double.
Well, we just made it up.
If you're looking for the love of your life, you could try your luck on dating.
Hricsina up on lane 34, trailing now by 8 pins. Wants to get a strike here in the 6th frame, so his partner Steelsmith can put him back in the lead. Oh, the 4, 6, 10.
Well, and John's wife isn't too pleased with that. Well, he's just going to go for the 2 pins, just get the 6 and the 10, maybe, hopefully bounce something out. He threw it hard.
We asked John earlier about his big hook, whether it helped him or hurt him.
Well, in the morning blocks, it's a definite disadvantage because the lane snaps so hard in the back end, but as the day goes on, then it becomes an advantage. So I could answer it both ways. In the evening, I think it is an advantage, but otherwise, it's not.
Well, it wasn't much of an advantage on that last shot, Mike. I think that big hook is just a little bit of a detriment on lane 34, especially when he doesn't get the ball far enough to the right. Yeah, Rick
lapse in concentration there.
Yeah, and he just looked like he got kind of slow, got over the top of that ball. Maybe as a result of Hricsina's open in the previous frame, he may have lost his concentration.
It's tough when you're already behind and then your partner opens to try and gear it back up and get that strike.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do that. You really have to be ready to really pull your partner up after a bad shot.
At the 6-10.
Hard and straight. He makes a spare. Now Pete-Couture has the opportunity to really put the pressure on Hricsina and Steelsmith and go into a 32-pin lead. They're up 22 right now.
Threw a beautiful shot on this lane back in the 5th frame. He's thinking in his mind that he just wants to repeat that.
I'm sure that's exactly what he wants to do. He'll try and keep the ball a little straighter towards the pocket.
He thought it had a chance, but he was looking at the 10 pin all the way.
Well, he made a good shot.
Today's finalists, wow, 44 PBA titles, 19 senior titles. That's 63 titles, a lot of years of experience, 183 perfect games.
Pete-Couture told me that he just had his 51st 300 game this week to go with his 51 years on this earth.
300 game per year. I can't say that.
I can't either.
We see the score there. The difference 21 pins. The team of Couture and Bohn has it. They're hoping to change this record. We see Bohn 0-7 this year. Couture 0-1. Bohn's record goes back to last year, and he's 0 for the last 9.
And they find themselves in pretty good shape with Parker on the left lane. looks very, very confident right now, Mike Durbin.
He likes that lane 33. Right now, if Hricsina and Steelsmith have any chance, John's got a strike right here.
Yeah, they cannot wait any longer. It's getting late in the game. They're up in the 8th frame. They're now down by 21 pins. Now Rick is looking a little shaky right now too. But that ought to help him out a little bit.
Boy, his adjustment shot is just more lofted, more speed, and more turn.
Yeah, he's an instinctive player. He's not one to move on the lane as much as he is to move the way that he gets his ball out on the lane. So he does it more in his delivery and less with moving his feet and ball target.
Well, how is Rick going to do it here?
Well, Rick better amp up the speed a little bit because he got slow on the last shot. I hope he knows that. Taking a little extra time. There, his partner's trying to do everything he can to help him get this strike.
To keep him alive. He does. It's down to 11 pins right now.
And that's that key strike in the 9th frame, Mike. So he sets up John-Hricsina, who's going to be finishing with a strike up in the 9th frame.
Couture now working on a strike, headed for the 9th frame.
Pete-Couture on lane 34. This is a very, very crucial strike.
Good job, Perry. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, baby. Just barely squeaked that 5-pin over.
That ball just split the 5-6 right there. Parker now for the lockout shot, right?
And you know, we do have a chance for a tie. If Parker were to get 9 spare strike, the team of Hricsina and Steelsmith could strike out and we'd have a tie. Strike here for the win.
Yeah! Still got it, doesn't he?
Well, he's not 0 for 9 anymore, Mike Durbin. That's a win. Now watch this ball. He's really, really letting it go. He's making very confident shots. Look at that ball hook into the pocket. And look at that reaction.
That's a long time coming.
Well, it has been a long time, and I know it's been eating at him. I know he's been thinking about it.
Again now, with the team of Stuss and Forkel coming on, they have a chance here to put the psychology thing on this team.
Well, and with as confident as Parker-Bohn is right now, I think you've got to make Pete-Couture finish on that right-hand lane. Just finishing up. Oh, look how wide that ball got. I thought that ball looked like it was in the gutter.
2:45, continuing our high scores.
Okay, I'm down.
And Steelsmith and Hricsina finished 4th. Still a good week. A little disappointed. Well, we'll John-Hricsina finishing up, shooting at the 10-pin.
Knocks it down. With a strike, they'll finish with 204. And undoubtedly, the key shot there, Marshall, was Parker's first shot in the 10th frame.
There's no doubt about that one. That was an excellent shot that Parker made as John finishes out with a strike.
Final score, team of Couture and Bohn, 245 over 204.